9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight's headlines, we have modernizations of the budgetary framework and the state chart of accounts. For the international scene, South Africa enhances security for the BRICS summit. Welcome to our newsroom. The Ministry of Youth and Culture has hosted this morning an important regional meeting as part of the project for the collective registrations of traditions and customs related to traditional marriage of Arab countries in the Universal Register of UNESCO by March 2024. Before the start of the meeting, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hiba Moomin Alsowe, received in her office the representative of ALESCO, Dr. Fathi El-Jerey, and Dr. Abdelhadi El-Ghamari, the two international experts, Mr. Mohammed Beidje and Mustafa Jok, the Secretary General of the National Commissions for UNESCO in Djibouti, Mohamed Moussa Yabe, the Principal Technical Advisor, Idris Moussa, the Director General of the National Agency for the Promotions of Culture, Mohamed Hussein Douale, and the Director of Culture, Ms. Fatouma Abdi Ife. In addition to the Republic of Djibouti, the Republic of Comoros, and the Republic of Somalia are invited to this meeting. The main objective of this meeting is the realization of a common file on the traditions and customs related to traditional marriage in the Arab world between these three countries. The Republic of Djibouti had the honor of being the leaders of these three countries for the nominations of these traditional common elements to the World Intangible Cultural Heritage of UNESCO. In collaboration with ALESCO, this workshop will last 3 days and will take place in the meeting room of the Ministry of Youth and Culture. During this work, two international experts will ensure the popularization of the 2003 convention. The Arab countries were able to register 67 elements within the framework of the national or joint files. The representative of ALESCO, Dr. Fathi El-Jerey, said that the main objectives of this meeting is the realization of common files on the traditions and customs related to traditional marriage in the Arab world between these three countries. During this work, the experts, he said, will ensure the popularization of the 2003 convention. The Arab countries were able to register the 67 elements within the framework of the national or joint files. For her part, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Hiba Moomin Alsowe, said that the ALESCO organization has continued to support the national files of the Arab countries, and it has also been able, in cooperation with the certain Arab countries, to coordinate and register several common Arab files, and thus continues to prepare other files within the framework of the 5 years work approved during the 22 sessions of the Conference of Ministers responsible for cultural affairs of Arab countries in December 2021. The People's Palace recently hosted a workshop aimed at finalizing the technical work to modernize the budget nomenclature and the state accounting plane. Organized by the Ministry of Budget in collaboration with the experts, international experts, this event brought together high-level executives with the aim of implementing the budgetary reforms recommended by the head of state. These reforms are part of a dynamic of series up of a new legislative and regulatory framework promoting transparency, inclusion, and accountability within the public finance management system. The context of this approach has its origin in the current chart of accounts dating from in 1986, as well as the budget nomenclature established in 2011. Faced with changing economic and financial challenges, it has become imperative to modernize these fundamental elements for better adaptations to current reality. The overriding objective remains to provide stakeholders with a clear and detailed view of states' financial resources and their use. The international experts in public accounting present at the workshop expressed his gratitude to the Minister of Budget for having offered him the opportunity to contribute to this major event of modernization of the budget nomenclature and the chart of accounts of the state. Its participations demonstrate the recognition of international expertise and in the process aimed at strengthening the country's financial management. For his part, the technical advisor and coordinator of the reforms unit, Ms. Suad Idris Farah, underlined in her speeches that the new budget nomenclature will allow transparency, inclusion, the revalidation of the public finance management system. The two-day workshop played a pivotal role in validating the new versions of the state accounts plans as well as the budget nomenclature. These steps are crucial to ensure transparent management of public finances. For his part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Budget, Simon Mebratu, was delighted to have closed this two-day workshop devoted to the technical work of validating the new nomenclature and the chart of accounts. The context of this approach has its origins in the current chart of accounts dating from in 1986, as well as the budget nomenclature established in 2011. Faced with changing economic and financial challenges, it has become imperative to modernize these fundamental elements for better adaptations to current realities. The overriding objective remains to provide stakeholders with a clear and detailed view of the state's financial resources and their use. The Ministry of Agriculture, through the project management unit led by Engineer Baragoita Saida, yesterday organized a regional workshop for the completions of the PROLIC project attended by the representative of the prefectures of Tajora, regional advisories, as well as representative of the community benefiting from the project. The objective of this workshop, which brought together beneficiaries from all regions of the interior, consisted in the fight against desert locusts and to evaluate the activities carried out within the framework of the PROLIC project, in particular to assess the effects and impact of the project both at the level of the pastoral courses of interventions and at the level of the beneficiaries, and above all to assess the sustainability of the achievement as well as the means of consolidating them. In addition, PROLIC demonstrates its commitment to training and development by enabling the acquisitions of an aircraft and the trainings of the 4 pilots and 3 technicians. These actions have opened up a new prospect for Djibouti's agricultural future. The work of this workshop was articulated around 3 main axes. The first group analyzed the effects and impact of PROLIC on the lives of beneficiaries, looking at the quantitative and qualitative changes brought to the livelihoods and pastoralists' household, farmers and those without agricultural and livestock assets. The second group focused on the sustainability of the result obtained and the mechanism necessary to guarantee the sustainability of the benefits of the program. The project coordinator, Engineer Baragoita Saida, has indicated that the PROLIC was a project of significant scope, benefiting different categories of the population of the Djibouti region, with more than 2,000 families benefiting from cash transfer, 1,100 farmers receiving appropriate funds and assistance, and 4,000 nomads receiving livestock feed. And the project has contributed to strengthening the livelihoods of local communities. Speaking, the prefect of the city of Tajora, Muhammad Humada Abbas, first of all to greet the beneficiaries who came from rural areas affected by locusts. Your presence here testifies to the interests you attach to the development of your pastoral path. He took this opportunity to inquire not only about the achievements that have been made, but above all, the real impact of the project on the living conditions of the beneficiaries. Continuing his speech, the prefect asked the participant to be frank and sincere about their feeling about the changements, the achievement of the Pro League project, and the lessons to be learned for the future, always addressed in the participant during this workshop to breeders, farmers, vulnerable household benefiting from cash transfers to this workshop, which is yours, he said. Want each of you to be able to tell us what has worked well to capitalize on it and what has less markets and now to go next to do better. Since its launch on May 20 in the regional championship has continued at the large area files in the Al Sabih region. In view of this regional competition, the leaders of the regional football league of Al Sabih were hard at work during the 2 summer months of the progress of this regional championship. About 10 teams are involved in this championship. For this, as usual, the Djibouti Football Federation supported these teams to enable them to evolve in the best possible conditions. To this end, the latter benefited from a set of equipment consisting of, among other things, balls, jerseys, shoes, socks, and shin guards. New this year, the participations of the 5 women's team. The region is also breeding grounds for talent and is also home of one of the best teams in the national championship of the first division. This is Asas Djibouti Telecom. Throughout the launch of the football season of this regional championship, we'll see the emergence and development of much more efficient teams and many talented players who will one day be able to play under the national color. The training course for referees, which began last Sunday, ended today for the occasions of a ceremony of presentations of certificate to the recipient took place at noon at the CDC of Obok in the presence of the dynamic president of the regional council, Muhammad Ismail, and the deputy prefect, Muhammad Awad, the vice president of the league, and other personalities of the regions, as well as the participants and their trainers. Note that 17 referees and assistant referees were trained during this course. Speaking on this occasion, the president of the regional council wished to congratulate the federation for the organizations of this course and for its support for the development of football in the countries and in the regions. As a football enthusiast, I will not fail to follow the efforts of the regional league and its effort to develop football in Obok, said the president of the regional council. In conclusion, at the end of the ceremony, certificates were given to the referees and assistant referees who had been trained. The recent exceptional bad weather has thrown a ray of hope on the agricultural regions, leaving behind them an indelible imprint on the whole country, as drought threatened to deal a devastating blow to crops. These long-awaited rains come as a blessing for agriculture. Farmers who had looked anxiously up at the skies for months found themselves caught between hope and fear about the futures of their crops. Fields cracked and parched by the lack of rainfall were finally nourished by the benevolent drop that began to fall from the skies. Faces once strained with the anxiety is up with the smiles of relief as the parched earth finally absorbed the saving water. For the international scene, this Tuesday, August 22, marks the start of BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, bringing together Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa for its 15th edition. Nearly 50 countries are expected to participate. The discussions will focus on the relations between the BRICS and Africa, with the possibility of considering the extensions of the group to certain states of this continent. The BRICS are working together for political and economic rebalancing to counterbalance the global order. The objective of the founding countries is to reduce their dependence on the international currency while strengthening their geopolitical influence. Several countries have expressed interests in joining the BRICS, hoping to create a new world order that is more beneficial to them. The police presence has intensified in Johannesburg in recent days with the increasingly frequent police car patrol. The South African city has tightened its security measures a few hours before the start of the BRICS summit. In France, records are likely to be broken today with 40 to 42 degrees before the peak of this episode, particularly late for the season. On Wednesday, 4 departments will go into the heat wave red vigilance. This is what Météo France said yesterday, which warns of an intense and lasting heat wave episode, particularly late for the season, requiring special vigilance. The Minister for the Ecological Transitions had previously indicated that 4 departments would switch into the red by the end of the day on Monday. A large-scale U.S.-South Korean maneuver have started. North Korea intends to launch a satellite in the coming days. The Japanese government announced it today, according to which the launch could take place between the 24 hours and the August 31. A previous attempt 3 months ago and in a failure, Japan's Prime Minister office, which said it was briefed by Pyongyang on the plane, instructed the government to gather information and work with the U.S., South Korea, and other countries to urge Pyongyang to conceal the start. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has made the development of a military spy satellite a priority. Washington and Seoul suspect Pyongyang of developing a new intercontinental ballistic missile, which includes technologies similar to those of a satellite launcher. That's it for this news. Thanks for following us. Nice programs on RTD.